Blessed Self in all, Namaste, Om Tat Sat. This is Swami Nikhilananda and welcome to Spirituality and Vedanta Philosophy. Each week, I post profound spiritual knowledge and insights that I have learned directly from my self-realized enlightened master, Swami Jyotirmananji Maharaj of Miami, Florida. So please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for updates to my latest videos. And thank you to all those loyal subscribers who have been watching my videos on a regular basis as well. In today's video, we will be covering the 8 limbs of yoga. This is called the Patanjali's method. Sage Patanjali, he was a very famous sage and he was the one who started the concept of yoga initially, and that there are 8 limbs or 8 steps, if you will, to the yoga path. Yoga is meaning, it comes from the Sanskrit term yuj, which means to unite. So the real meaning of yoga is to unite with the cosmic consciousness. And in order to get there, Sage Patanjali had recommended that we follow these 8 steps in that order, in order for us to realize the main reason for our human body, which is to eventually connect back to the cosmic consciousness. So his principle was the 8 steps I will explain, and then maybe we will have to do more videos since this is a longer process to then explain each of the components of those 8 steps. So please look out for the next video that I may be doing on this as well. But the 8 steps are yamas, and yamas are ethical values and principles. So that is your foundation. The first step of the 8 limbs is yamas, and these are generally the don'ts, if you will, so you can remember it. Don'ts means like the 5 steps in the yamas are ahimsa. So that means ahimsa means no killing. So don't kill. That is what ahimsa means, that be gentle, kind, compassionate. So ahimsa, don't kill. Satya means truthfulness. So that means don't lie. So these are the don'ts. What shouldn't you be doing? And what should you be doing is the opposite of what you shouldn't be doing. So when they say don't lie, that means be truthful, satya. And the third thing is asteya, which means don't steal. That is not good. You should always create your own thoughts, ideas, and your own self-effort. And then brahmacharya is the 4th value, which means that be established in Brahman. The other aspect of brahmacharya is also moderation or celibacy. And the 5th one is aparigraha. Aparigraha means don't hoard, non-hoarding, which means you lead a simple life. If you have too many things of the same kind, just give it to somebody else so they can use it. It's for somebody else's benefit as well. So these are the 5 yamas that we talk about, but this is only the first step. The second step are called niyamas. Niyamas are the actual do's, which are called your personal practices that you should be doing in your daily life for following this path of Patanjali's Ashtang Yoga. In this, the 5 steps are shaucha. Shaucha means purity. Purity of your thought, of your body, of your mind. And the second thing is santosh, the second step. Santosh means contentment. So find contentment within yourself, within your means, and learn to lead a happy and holistic life. The third value here is tapas. Tapas means austerity. So you do austerity, you go through some sacrifices, you go through some penance, so you can accelerate in the things that you value more for yourself. Those are your niyamas, which means these are your daily duties and do's that you should be working on. And the 4th component of the niyamas is swadhyaya. Swadhyaya comes from the root letter swa, which means your self, establishment in the self, and adhyaya means to study or do contemplation on it. So swadhyaya is self-study of scriptures, of knowledge, so you are understanding that what does this consciousness mean to you. And the 5th thing under the do's or niyamas is the Ishwar pranidhana, which means it's surrender to the divine energy. You know, we are here for a little time, we are here and then we depart. So we have to surrender to that energy that has created this entire cosmos, the planets, the big everything around us. So these are the first two steps of Patanjali Yoga, the Yamas, the Niyamas. And now he takes us to the third step, which is called Asanas. Asanas are postures, physical postures, because the idea is that we are supposed to connect our body to our mind and spirit. And when we do that effectively, we find stillness and we find peace. So that is what the purpose of asanas is, to make our body flexible, pliant, and healthy. And that's what Patanjali then teaches us. So we are continuing on that journey. That's the third step. And the fourth step is pranayama. Pranayama means breath control. How you breathe, breathing consciously. See, most people, when they breathe, it's an automatic process, right? Oxygen is coming in and then breath is going out. But in reality, you're supposed to breathe deeply and consciously. Because when you do that, you can start bringing peace and stillness within yourself. And there are procedures around that and a process around it. And one of them is called Lom Vilom, which means you do breathing through alternate nostrils. The other one is consciously breathing through both your nostrils and then taking the breath in and out. So when you breathe in, it's called Purak. And then you hold it, it's called Kumbhak. And then when you exhale it, it's called Rechak. So when you do it consciously, it generally should be in the ratio of 1:4:2. So if you take a 1 second breath, hold it for 4 seconds and exhale it for 2 seconds. That's what our scriptures teach us, but do what's practical for your body initially and what's giving you comfort. But that is what Sage Patanjali is trying to teach us. So our body is now fit and our breath is getting better. See the scientific steps that he has built in order for us to become yogic. And the fifth stage is called Pratyahara. Pratyahara is turning inwards. Ahar is food. So when our senses are always external, you see, eyes are looking out, ears are hearing from outside, smells are coming from outside, taste, touch, everything. So that is why spirituality becomes a little bit complex, because here we are asking you to go inwards. So leave the external senses and go inwards. Think of a turtle or a tortoise. So when a turtle is walking, you can see all its limbs, right? But as soon as it sees a little bit of danger, what does it do? It just clams in. And at that point, you cannot tell if that's a turtle. It just looks like a stone or anything else. It totally hides its limbs. So that's what the fifth stage of this yogic process is, to go inwards and to have sense control, to have discipline. That's the Pratyahara stage. So these first 5 stages are only to control the physical aspect of things. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar. So now we are at a point where we start to experience a little bit of stillness, and now we are ready for meditation. So the first 5 are called Bahirang, which means outward, and the last 3, which are Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, are called Antarang or inner. So the first one is Dharana, which means it's concentration. So now we are talking about the goal is Samadhi, which means Samadhi, which means your mind, the thought waves completely stop and you're able to transcend time and space and reach that zone where you experience perpetual bliss. So, but in order to get there, these are the steps you have to do. So dharana is called the concentration part, where you are trying to focus on an image. Some people, you can try to focus on an image if you like, or try to focus in between your eyebrows or your agya chakra and maintain that, or just look at a flower, whatever works for you. And these, you can do guided meditation, and all those kind of tools exist today to help you create concentration. Then the second part becomes is dhyana, where your thought waves have now started to diminish and they have slowly they are coming down, where now the thoughts, new thoughts are not coming and the old thoughts have stabilized. So that stage is called the focused state. You may have noticed, for example, when you're pouring oil from one container into the other, you're very careful and you are in a focused state. You make sure you're not thinking of anything else, otherwise the oil will spill. So that kind of focus state is required when you're also trying to meditate, and when you consciously do it, it starts to get easier, but you have to be doing repetitions. It's a repetitive process and a regular process as well. So you need, if you get on a schedule, it starts getting easier, and with each time it starts getting more profound and better for you. And so that's the dhyana stage, dhyana. And then the last stage is, as I was discussing, it's called the samadhi state, samadhi, which means that your dhi is called the intellect and sam means neutral. So your intellect becomes totally calm, and now you can clearly see the reflection in your own self. So just like you see a clear lake, the whole sky and all the reflection shows clearly in that lake. But if the lake is ripples and if it's dirty, you will not be able to see the reflection. Same principle Patanjali Maharaj has tried to give us in his Ashtang yoga philosophy. So he is trying to educate us very gently. So again, the 8 steps: Yamas, Niyamas, Asanas, Pranayama, Pratyahara, the first 5 which are external, and the last 3 which will be internal: Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So Yamas are again the don'ts or the ethical values you follow, and Niyamas are the do's that you do for your personal practices. Asanas, your physical postures. Pranayama, your breath control. Pratyahara, control of senses, going inwards. Dharana, the concentration stage of your meditation. Dhyana, the focus state of your meditation. And Samadhi, which means the transcendental stage of your meditation, where you have actually now gone beyond the thought waves. Hope this video helped you about the Ashtang Yoga of Patanjali Maharaj. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments or ask. But otherwise, I will be posting my next video soon as well. This is Swami Nikhilananda signing off. Om Tat Sat. Namaste.